face of DiJonai Carrington.
The league doesn't step up and protect her, things are going to get ugly real fast.
Anybody that does something flagrant to this young lady for what she's brought to the game should be suspended and fined big time.
Hello and welcome back to Clark Hoop Nexus. Today we're covering a developing WNBA controversy involving Sophie Cunningham and DiJonai Carrington. Following the recent incident, Steph Curry has reportedly addressed the situation, and his alleged comments have quickly gone viral online. The story has sparked strong reactions, with fans eager to understand what really happened. Before we break down the full story, take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's get into it. What would happen if one of the greatest basketball players ever witnessed a young WNBA star being subjected to questionable physical treatment? According to claims circulating online, Steph Curry's alleged reaction to the incident involving DiJonai Carrington and Sophie Cunningham has added another layer to the controversy. But here's the big question. Have you ever seen a professional athlete become the center of this kind of debate? What Curry reportedly witnessed during the Chicago Sky game has fueled even more discussion about physical play, player protection, and accountability in the WNBA. Supporters of Cunningham argue that she has faced an unusually physical style of play throughout her career. And Curry, who has experienced intense defensive pressure throughout his own career, would certainly understand the difference between tough, competitive basketball and unnecessary physicality. However, it's important to separate verified facts from online speculation. There is currently no confirmed evidence in the material provided that Steph Curry actually called the incident the most cowardly act I've seen on a basketball court in decades. That claim should be treated as unverified unless a credible source or direct recording confirms it.
Gift that keeps on giving. The latest is a clothesline foul on Sophie Cunningham by DiJonai Carrington, the woman that went on an incredibly racist rant against cab driver, and of course knocked the hell out of Caitlin Clark from behind her rookie year. But that's okay. I'm not mad at that kind of basketball. That's all good. But the problem is after. It was white privilege. White girl goes to the basket. African-American woman knocks her on her ass, clothesline her, knocks her down, upgraded to a flagrant.
After seeing the footage of DiJonai Carrington making contact with Sophie Cunningham from behind while she was dealing with the aftermath of an eye poke, Steph Curry reportedly reacted strongly and quickly. Curry, one of the most respected competitors in basketball history, understands what intense physical competition looks like after battling some of the toughest defenders in the NBA. But even so, it's important to separate verified facts from claims circulating online. The alleged comments attributed to Curry have not been independently confirmed in the material provided. Before we continue, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's return to the story. The controversy has raised an issue many fans have been thinking about. Taking a hard shot at an opponent who is vulnerable and not expecting contact is very different from playing championship-level defense. Curry's own era was known for intense physical competition, but great competitors are still expected to respect the boundaries of sportsmanship. According to the online narrative, Carrington's post-game response added another layer to the controversy. Rather than simply accepting the criticism, she suggested that she felt she was being criticized regardless of how she responded. However, claims that Curry personally attacked her response or calls her a lesser player remain unverified. True competitors are often judged not only by how they play, but also by how they respond when controversy follows them. Taking responsibility, respecting opponents, and acknowledging the consequences of a physical play are all important parts of professional sports. The story also paints Cunningham as a player with qualities that Curry would recognize: basketball intelligence, toughness, confidence, clutch ability, and the capacity to lift the players around her. Supporters believe she'd be able to focus on developing her game without constantly worrying about unnecessary physical contact. At the same time, the most dramatic claims surrounding this controversy should not be presented as confirmed unless direct evidence, a recording, or a credible report verifies them. What is clear is that the incident has sparked a much bigger conversation about player safety, competitive intensity, accountability, and the standards professional athletes should be expected to follow. The basketball world is watching closely, and the debate over where aggressive competition ends and dangerous physicality begins is far from over.
It was a hard foul. I don't think that DiJonai intentionally came out to get her across the neck like she did, but it did happen, and I thought it was the right call. But, you know, one of the things about Nay is that she's going to play her butt off, man. She's going to compete. Nobody's going to go walking in for a layup. And so I don't oppose the hard foul, but I also don't think that she intentionally.
However, Steph Curry's alleged comments about DiJonai Carrington's future in professional basketball are now circulating widely across social media. According to the claims, Curry argued that if the WNBA allows players to target star athletes without meaningful consequences, it could create a dangerous precedent in which physical tactics become a substitute for developing genuine basketball skills. He reportedly suggested that inconsistent discipline could send the wrong message to young players watching the league, who should be learning about skill, commitment, competition, and sportsmanship. The most significant part of the alleged statement, however, was reportedly Curry's prediction about Sophie Cunningham's future. According to the narrative, he believes that Cunningham has been shaped by adversity and that every difficult challenge only motivates her to become a better player. The story compares her situation to the physical challenges Curry faced early in his own career when opponents constantly tested his ability to handle pressure and contact. At the same time, Cunningham is dealing with an enormous amount of attention and expectations. Supporters believe that the attention surrounding her goes beyond one controversial incident and represents a much larger discussion about how emerging stars are treated in professional basketball. But there's an important distinction to make. The specific comments attributed to Steph Curry in this story have not been independently verified. They should therefore be treated as online claims rather than confirmed statements, unless a direct interview video or credible report establishes that Curry actually made them. Still, the broader debate is worth discussing. Should the WNBA take a stronger approach to player safety and discipline when controversial physical plays occur? Should every player, regardless of reputation or status, be held to the same standard? Those are the questions fans are debating right now. So, what do you think? Do you believe the criticism surrounding DiJonai Carrington's actions is justified, or has the situation been exaggerated online? And more importantly, do you think the WNBA needs to do more to protect its biggest stars while maintaining fair competition? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I read as many comments as possible. And if you want more WNBA analysis, breaking stories, and basketball debates, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update.
These types of kind of dirty fouls, so to speak. This is the same player that poked Caitlin Clark in the eye with her long-ass fingernails last year. Take a look.
This clip is going viral of Caitlin Clark getting poked in the eye by DiJonai Carrington. It happened in the first quarter when Clark tried passing the ball to her teammate Aaliyah Boston, but Carrington poked Clark in the eye while trying to deflect the pass. No foul was called, but Clark had to take a second to regain her composure. In the third quarter, DiJonai was defending Caitlin again when Caitlin hit DiJonai in the head, knocking out one of her contacts. No foul was called, but DiJonai had to take a second to put her contact back in.
One thing is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore as this story develops. This is no longer just about one game, one hard foul, or one controversial incident. It is about the future of women's basketball, the standards the league wants to maintain, and how its biggest stars are treated when the spotlight is at its brightest. Few athletes have faced the level of attention and expectations surrounding Sophie Cunningham. Millions of fans follow every game, every move is analyzed from countless angles, and every major moment can quickly become a headline. That is the reality of being one of the most talked about names in basketball today. At the same time, veterans across the league continue to compete at the highest level, bringing years of experience, toughness, and pride to every matchup. The challenge for the WNBA is making sure that intense competition never crosses the line into unnecessary or dangerous play. Fans want intensity, they want rivalries, they want competitive basketball, but they also want consistency, fairness, and respect. That is why the alleged comments attributed to Steph Curry have generated so much discussion. Curry understands what it means to compete under pressure, having spent his career facing elite defenders and some of the most physical competition in basketball. However, the specific statements being attributed to him remain unverified, so they should not be presented as confirmed unless a direct interview, video, or credible report supports them. Still, the larger issue remains relevant. What should happen when the league's biggest stars become involved in controversial physical plays? Should officials be stricter? Should the league impose stronger penalties? Or is this simply part of professional basketball? Fans, analysts, former players, and media personalities all have different answers. One thing that has remained consistent in the narrative surrounding Cunningham is her determination to focus on basketball rather than allowing controversy or criticism to define her career. She continues to compete, show up, and demonstrate why so many supporters believe she has an important future in the sport. Her resilience is one of the reasons her supporters continue to stand behind her. At the same time, the WNBA is receiving unprecedented attention. Social media conversations continue to expand, arenas are attracting large crowds, and new fans are discovering women's basketball every day. That means incidents like this can influence how the league is viewed far beyond a single game or team. As the season continues, every game involving Cunningham will be closely watched. Every controversial play will be analyzed, every officiating decision will be debated, and every major moment could become part of one of the most closely followed seasons in WNBA history. So now comes the biggest question. Do you think the claims surrounding Steph Curry accurately reflect the current state of the league? Do you believe the WNBA is doing enough to protect its stars while still allowing physical, competitive basketball? And how do you think the league, DiJonai Carrington, and Sophie Cunningham will be affected moving forward? Share your thoughts in the comments below and keep the discussion respectful. As the story moves toward its conclusion, one thing is clear, the conversation is far from over. What began as a controversial incident has developed into a much larger debate about accountability, respect, competition, player safety, and the future of women's basketball. Sophie Cunningham remains at the center of a situation that has attracted enormous attention. Whether you agree with her, disagree with her, or simply want to understand what actually happened, there is no denying that the controversy has sparked a major discussion throughout the basketball community. The WNBA is growing rapidly, and with that growth comes an enormous amount of scrutiny. Every game is monitored closely, every hard foul is analyzed, every reaction can become a headline. In today's social media environment, a controversial moment can go viral within minutes. That makes it even more important for the league to ensure that the physicality fans enjoy never turns into unnecessary or dangerous behavior. The fans do not want boring basketball. They want passion, rivalries, and athletes giving everything they have on the court. But they also want fairness, sportsmanship, and consistent standards for everyone. That is why moments like this matter. They can influence millions of fans' perceptions of the league as a whole. Now everyone is waiting to see what happens next. Will the WNBA respond firmly? Will officials take additional steps to protect players during controversial situations? Or will this eventually become another chapter in the long history of intense basketball rivalries? Only time will tell. What we do know is that Cunningham has continued to display the toughness and determination that have made her such an interesting player to watch. Instead of allowing outside noise to define her, she has the opportunity to let her performance on the court speak louder than anything posted on social media. That is what makes sports so unpredictable. One game can change the narrative. One performance can silence critics. And one unforgettable moment can become part of basketball history. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think about everything that has happened? Do you believe DiJonai Carrington went too far? Should the WNBA introduce stricter rules and penalties when incidents like this occur? Or do you believe fans are exaggerating the situation and that aggressive physicality is simply part of professional basketball? Share your honest thoughts in the comments. And if you're enjoying this type of WNBA analysis, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss another major update, debate, interview, or breaking basketball story. We'll continue monitoring the situation and bring you updates if anything changes. Share this video with another basketball fan who wants to stay informed. We truly appreciate your support and your participation in our growing basketball community. The biggest games are still ahead, the season is still unfolding, and the next major story could happen at any moment. Stay informed, stay tuned, and most importantly, keep enjoying the game you love. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and stay safe.